The day I signed the lease, I thought I was renting an apartment. Months later, I realized I had signed something else entirely. Finding an apartment in Seattle had become almost impossible. Every decent place disappeared within hours, and anything affordable looked abandoned. So when I found a one-bedroom apartment in an old brick building for almost $500 below market price, I didn't ask too many questions. The building was old. 8 floors, long narrow hallways, an elevator that looked older than I was. But everything was clean. Fresh paint, quiet tenants. Nothing felt wrong. The landlady was around 70. She barely spoke while showing me the apartment. The place was perfect. Old hardwood floors, large windows. Everything worked. When I signed the lease, she handed me the keys. Then just before leaving, she reached into her purse and pulled out a white envelope. "Read this tonight." "What is it?" "Building rules." I smiled. I figured they'd be something like, "Don't make noise after 10. She didn't smile back. I wished they were. Then she walked away. That evening, after unpacking a few boxes, I remembered the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper. At the top it read, "Building rules." There were only 3. 1. Never use the elevator after 9 p.m. If the door is open on a floor that isn't yours, do not step out, even if you see your apartment. 2. If the hallway lights go out at night, never open your apartment door, no matter who calls your name. 3. If your apartment door no longer has a keyhole, do not try to enter. Go 1 floor higher. Stand between 2 apartment doors. Close your eyes. Count to 20. If a door appears in front of you, enter immediately. If it doesn't, leave the building before sunrise. I laughed. Someone in the building clearly had a strange sense of humor. I folded the paper and tossed it into a kitchen drawer. Nothing happened for almost a week. Then one night I came home late, 9:30 p.m. Without thinking, I stepped into the elevator. The doors closed. It stopped almost immediately. The display showed floor 5. I lived on floor 7. The doors opened. Outside was my hallway, my welcome mat, my apartment. Exactly where it should have been. For a second I almost stepped out. Then I remembered the first rule. The doors open on a floor that isn't yours. Don't leave. I hit the closed door button. The door shut. The elevator continued upward. When it finally reached the 7th floor, my hallway looked completely different. Only then did I realize that wasn't the 5th floor at all. The next night, the lights went out. Not in my apartment. Only outside. Complete darkness. Then someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. Someone whispered my name right outside the door. It sounded exactly like my next-door neighbor. Then it became my mother's voice. Then I heard my own voice. I stood frozen behind the door. The knocking continued for almost 10 minutes. The lights finally came back. When I opened the door, the hallway was empty. The next morning I decided I'd had enough. Whatever joke this building was playing. I wanted out. I found another apartment online. The first landlord canceled the showing. The second apartment had already been rented. The third owner stopped answering. Every place disappeared before I could even see it. After several days, I convinced myself it was just bad luck. Now I know. The building wasn't letting me leave. A few nights later, I came home after work. Something felt wrong. I looked at my apartment door. The keyhole was gone. The smooth painted metal. No lock, no opening, nothing. Every instinct told me to force the door open. Instead, I remembered Rule 3. I went upstairs, stood between two apartments, closed my eyes, counted to 20. When I opened them, a door stood directly in front of me. It hadn't been there before, old, wooden, unlike every other apartment door in the building. I opened it, stepped through, and found myself standing inside my own apartment. The wooden door was gone. Everything looked normal again. I closed the door. I never told anyone what had happened. A week later, I woke up around 2 in the morning. The paper with the rules was lying on my kitchen table. I was certain I had left it inside the drawer. I picked it up. There were no longer 3 rules. There were 4. 4. If 3 scratches appear on your apartment door, leave before sunset. After that, the rules can no longer protect you. I grabbed my phone, opened the picture I'd taken of the rules the day I moved in. Only 3 rules. The 4th one wasn't there. It had appeared. By itself. My hands started shaking. I ran to the front door. 3 deep scratches stretched across the metal. The scratches looked fresh. I packed everything I could carry. By noon, I had signed a lease for another apartment across town. I didn't even go back for the rest of my things. That night, I climbed the stairs to my new apartment, pulled out my key, reached for the lock, then froze. There was no keyhole, only smooth painted metal. Exactly like before. That's when I realized I had never escaped. The building hadn't followed me. Whatever I had signed that day wasn't the lease. If you've made it this far, you're ready for the next story. It's already waiting on the channel.